One of the most powerful beings in the world of Tensura is the Octagram. These 8 demon lords, each with their own background and race, have an overwhelming presence in the central world and have a great impact on the world. In this video, I summarize and introduce the characteristics and strengths of the Octagram. The beginning of the Demon Lords. For tens of thousands of years, Gay Crimson reigned as the strongest demon lord in the world. His true identity is one of the 7 original demons with the nickname Rouge, and it is from him that the demon lords originated. The original demons, derived from the great spirit of darkness, reign in the spirit world as devil lords. However, since the world where Rimuru and the others live is a space where magicules are not abundant, they require physical bodies to act. When he appeared in the central world, his power dropped from a devil lord to an archdemon, but he was still incredibly powerful. He destroyed entire countries with ease. At that time, he evolved into a demon lord by acquiring human souls and immediately took on a physical form using 1 million corpses. At this time, the primordial red evolved from an archdemon to a demon peer. He completed his naming by receiving the name Gay from the dying screams of the people and regained his power as a devil lord. From this episode, one might think that Gay is difficult to deal with, quick to anger, and has a rough personality. But according to Rain, it seems that the summoners were actually the problem. To handle the chores of the central world, Gay summoned the original blue and the original green and named them Rain and Misery, respectively. He then traveled around this world, which continued to evolve, discovering pleasures that did not exist in the spiritual world. Then, he met the Star King Dragon Veldanava. Gay, who thought he was the strongest, was defeated by Veldanava's attack, but the eccentric Veldanava was interested in Gay, who challenged him to a fight and asked him to become a mediator for the world as a demon lord. In this way, Gay became a demon lord to maintain the world, in order to prevent the progress of humans from leading to the destruction of the world. This is because Veldanava liked humans, but foresaw that the world would be destroyed by humans fighting each other in a few thousand years. Therefore, he chose Gay as a mediator to watch over the world, and by making Gay the demon lord, he hoped to put an end to the fighting by having humans fear him with all their might. Gay was also surprisingly reasonable, so he accepted Veldanava's request and became a demon lord. Characteristics of Gay. After Veldanava disappeared, Gay stopped Millim's rampage, fueled by anger after her small dragon companion, who was once with Millim, was killed by humans, resulting in a fierce battle that lasted for 7 days and 7 nights. Even now, Gay maintains a friendly relationship with Ramiris, who intervened in the battle at that time to mediate, and Gay ruthlessly eliminates anyone who holds hostility towards her. Currently, it seems that Gay is acting based on the promise made with Veldanava and the game played with the hero Rudra, whom he met later. He enjoys some stimulation and seems to be very fond of the demon lord Leon, who possesses the ultimate skill. Due to the ability to change gender, Gay has even said, "I wouldn't mind becoming a woman and being embraced." Incidentally, it seems that Diablo can also become a woman, so it's not a big deal for the original demons to disguise themselves as women. Gay's combat sense is so abnormal that it is felt by the true dragon, Velzard. In this world, it was believed that only ultimate skills could counteract other ultimate skills, but Gay has only an unique skill called Pride and can somehow compete with Velzard, who has the ultimate skill Lord of Patience Gabriel. Later, during the battle with Velzard, the unique skill Pride evolved into the ultimate skill Lord of Pride Lucifer. This skill is a cheat that allows Gay to copy and use any skill he has seen once, including ultimate skills and unique skills, so every time he sees a skill, Gay grows stronger. He can also adjust and optimize the compatibility, so with Gay's skill, he will be able to exert more power than the original owner of most skills. Furthermore, when this ultimate skill Lord of Pride Lucifer evolves into the ultimate skill God of the Abyss Nodens, it absorbs the ability of a special individual and becomes an all-purpose ability. In addition to his cheat-level skill, Gay is also a top-class swordsman. He can fight on equal or even greater footing with the legendary swordsmen of their prime, the hero Rudra and Chloe, who are considered the world's best swordsmen, using only his swordsmanship. Gay's strength is undoubtedly one of the top 3 in the story. Characteristics of Luminous. Luminous is a gothic Lolita demon lord with silver hair, heterochromia of red and blue, and various other unique traits. This beautiful girl is the princess of the vampire clan and also a second-generation demon lord. Furthermore, she is a mysterious demon lord with a setting that she is the only god of the Luminism, which is believed by the Western Holy Church. Luminous also holds the position of the leader of the vampire clan, but in reality, she wants an easy life. By chance, she added Gunther, who was the king of the opposing forces, to her subordinates, and he helped her build a solid domination system. She probably created the Luminism and formed a form where she herself became a god at that time. In addition, she appointed Roy and Louis, who look like demons, as Demon Lord and Pope, respectively, to smoothly manage the country, among other things. Eventually, at the Walpurgis during Rimuru's first participation, Millim and Veldora exposed her true identity. But considering that she had been able to deceive others for over 1,000 years, she had done quite well. Luminous also appeared to have pursued her own desires, consciously weakening her resistance to poison and teaching Rimuru how to get drunk. She also developed the country's art and seemed to get along well with Rimuru. Luminous, who is the princess of the vampire clan, is first and foremost known for overcoming the sun. Vampires cannot live under the sun, but she overcomes it with her superhuman strength. She became Overcomer and an existence with no weaknesses. Furthermore, there are several Overcomers among Luminous subordinates, and their strength surpasses the country's army alone. Luminous, who knows the secrets of holy magic that deal with data particles, seems to excel in destroying or healing their targets. Next, let's explain Luminous's skills. Her unique skill Lust evolves into the ultimate skill Lord of Lust Asmodeus. With this power, she can bring back the dead even if their soul remains, and she revived Hinata with this ability after she died once. Additionally, one of Luminous's abilities, Death Blessing, can turn a living person into a dead one by wrapping them in the hand of an invisible god. It cannot be prevented unless the person has mental resistance and does not allow resistance to those without a certain level of power. However, Luminous is quite kind, so she sometimes fulfills the wishes of those who are dying, and in that sense, she is also one of the people who understand Rimuru's kindness. Characteristics of Ramiris. A demon lord with the title Fairy of the Labyrinth. Despite having a small and cute appearance, Ramiris is originally a magnificent fairy queen revered by elementals and pixies. Like Gae and Millim, she is one of the oldest demon lords and is a being that maintains the balance of the world. She is also a guide for holy beings who give blessings to heroes. Ifrit, a greater elemental who watched the outside world from Rimuru's stomach, seems to have fond memories of Ramiris, whom he used to serve. Ramiris was originally the queen at the top of the hierarchy of elementals and had the power to mediate the fierce battle between Millim and Gae. However, due to this mediation, Ramiris lost almost all of her power and became an existence that repeatedly experienced growth and reincarnation while inheriting memories. By the way, Ramiris doesn't remember clearly, but her name was given by the Star King Dragon Veldonava, so she must be a very special being. In her small form, Ramiris is somewhat childish in her thoughts and actions, and is influenced by her appearance. Despite having a small body, Ramiris eats an incredible amount of sweets. It is believed that the reason why Trainee, who used to serve under Ramiris, is now eating cookies and cream puffs like crazy, is due to the strong influence of Ramiris, who was a fan of sweets. Ramiris also has the intrinsic skill Mazecraft, which creates a vast subspace. Mazecraft is not the ultimate skill, but with enough magical power, it can even warp an entire city into a labyrinth, making it a broken skill that could be considered cheating if used in the state of the Elemental Queen. However, the permission from the person is required as an activation condition. Rimuru and the children were able to pass through the gate to the dwelling of spirits on their own will, so they were under the influence of this skill. Due to the limited capacity of Ramiris' intelligence, the golem of Ramiris was destroyed by Rimuru with ease. However, it was also possible to transform the dungeon into a super high difficulty one with a change of user. After learning about the potential of Ramiris' abilities, Rimuru proposed to use it as a major project for Tempest, an artificial underground labyrinth. You can adventure up to 100 floors underground, with bosses placed every 10 floors, and eventually complete the deadliest dungeon with Veladora waiting at the end. Furthermore, the maze contains elements of many games, such as RPG played in the world before Rimuru's reincarnation, and monsters in the maze are resurrected quickly, making it quite elaborate and serving as a fortress during wartime. It is not clear what happens after her growth, but it is believed that she will have the same power as the strongest members, such as Gae and Millim. Also, when Ramiris saw Velgrin's appearance, she remembered old memories that she usually forgets, and has experienced recalling old memories a few times, but it is exciting to see how this will be depicted. However, It is currently clear that she is the weakest among the Octagram. Characteristics of Deeno. Deeno is one of the Octagram who appears to be a high school student. He is a fallen and also known as the Sleeping Ruler, and has a considerably casual relationship with the Demon Lord Ramiris. As a second-generation Demon Lord, he seems to have had knowledge of the world above ground for a long time, but his role in it remains a mystery. His appearance, with silver hair and purple highlights, falls under the category of handsome, but his tendency to become desperate to make things easier for himself makes him prone to resentment from others. When he first came to Tempest, he was lying on a sofa without permission and seems to be disliked by Shuna, who guided him to the waiting room. At the Walpurgis, Deeno did not have much interaction with Rimuru, but he lost his place to stay after being kicked out of Dagruel's place just before and came to Tempest. Rimuru reluctantly allowed him to stay because of a letter from Guy asking him to take care of Deeno. However, even though Deeno had been lazy for hundreds of years without working, Rimuru forced him to work and immediately prepared a position as Ramiris' assistant. Although he appears to be a demon lord with no motivation whatsoever, he is said to have the strongest sword skills in the world of Tensura. He also uses methods to deceive his existence value measurement, and he might have many other hidden tricks up his sleeve. In fact, he has been able to deceive the eyes of the Lord of Wisdom, so it can be said that he has considerable power just by considering this. Why does such a lazy Deeno become a demon lord? The reason is that Deeno was originally the angel created by Veldanava and was given the role of observer. He also assigned himself the role of watching Millim. Originally, Deeno was a subordinate who pledged loyalty to Veldanava and was one of the 7 angels of origin with the role of observer, and after being given this role, he traveled all over the world to fulfill his duties. However, during Deeno's absence, Veldanava and his wife, Lucia, were attacked. Veldanava, who had given almost all of his power to Millim, was unable to do anything and was murdered. After that, Deeno destroyed the country that committed the crime, but since then, he seems to have been watching over Millim, Veldanava's last remaining legacy. Deeno also possesses the ultimate skill and has a deep understanding of the world's principles. His unique skill sloth allows him to control and steal the abilities of his fallen opponents, the unique power that can be activated by corrupting them with his persuasive powers without the need for combat. Furthermore, Sloth evolves into the ultimate skill, Lord of Sloth Belfigure, which has a strange condition that weakens power as he moves, but by combining his powers, it is also possible to force the target into eternal sleep, which is equivalent to death. Finally, he also possesses the ultimate skill Astarte, which is the most amazing ability of all his skills. It allows him to evolve his skills as he wishes. In fact, when he evolved his unique skill Sloth into the ultimate skill Belfigure, he used Astarte to do so. In the novel version, Deeno was unable to defeat Zijin, but it seems that he was not serious at that time and had hidden many of his powers. When Zijin saw Deeno take on his combat form for the first time in centuries in the web version, he had the impression that Deeno was as strong as him, or even stronger. In anime, there are often characters who seem lethargic but are actually strong, aren't there? Characteristics of Millim. One of the oldest demon lords, Millim Nava, who is nicknamed Destroyer, is an existence born from a dragon and a human. She boasts of being one of the strongest among the demon lords and is considered a catastrophe of special S rank, along with Gei and the true dragons. She usually has wings that she stores somewhere, which allows her to fly freely in the sky. However, she can still fly even without them. In fact, her wings may grow spontaneously when she gets serious, like in her fight with Carrion. She met Rimuru after the fight with the Orc disaster. Millim, who was too bored, was involved in a plan to establish a new demon lord and became interested in Rimuru, who defeated the Orc disaster. She immediately went to greet him. On the other hand, Rimuru, who faced Millim for the first time, quickly realized that he couldn't win against her and used honey to pacify her. She enjoyed the food in Jura Tempest Federation, where she became friends with Shuna and Rimuru, and then suddenly left them. Millim has an absurd amount of magicules and can handle powerful skills. First is the ultimate skill, Lord of Wrath Satanael, which is a sin skill that is the counterpart of the strongest ultimate skill, Lord of Justice Michael, among the angelic skills. The details of its power are unclear, but according to Guy, it can exhibit ridiculous power. Secondly, her unique skills Millimai and Millimir measure the opponent's abilities and grasp their strength and amount of magicules in an instant. It seems to be an ability that can't be hidden. With this, when she flew to Tempest, she instantly saw through Rimuru's strength even though he was in slime form. Furthermore, Millim suddenly left Tempest, which may have been because she sensed suspicious movements from Clayman and the moderate jesters. Also, in the battle against Charybdis, Millim demonstrated an exceptional level of power. Charybdis is classified as Calamity class and is even a concern for Demon Lord Frey. If judged only by strength, it falls under the Disaster class. The term Disaster class refers to the Demon Lord, and it seems that it does not apply to intelligence-lacking monsters like Charybdis. However, Millim defeated it with her Drago Buster, which is a hand-measured attack. By the way, at that time, the Great Sage showed a reaction of surprise that Millim's magic was unanalyzable. Also, Drago Nova, which was used in the battle against Demon Lord Carrion, destroyed the capital of the Beast Kingdom of Eurazania in an instant with its power. Carrion could only sweat nervously and stumble from that attack. Characteristics of Dagruel. The Demon Lord with the nickname Earthquake, Dagruel, possesses a body much larger than that of Carrion and has a random amount of magicules. His combat power is exceptional, and though he has fought against Veldora many times, they have yet to reach a conclusion, showing their closeness to each other. He is never violent, often maintaining a calm and discerning attitude towards Clayman's fervent speeches and giving subtle support to Frey when she belittles herself, indicating his personal qualities. Additionally, Dagruel has 3 sons who, due to their rough personalities, incurred Dagruel's displeasure and were driven out to train under Rimuru. The eldest son, Dagra, the second son, Rura, and the third son, Debura, became enamored with Xion after she defeated them during their visit to Tempest and are now under her command, training tirelessly. Based on his past behavior and the nature of his 3 sons, it can be assumed that Dagruel possesses a gentle side, but he is also said to have territorial ambitions. In fact, Dagruel was originally a dangerous being who could reign as the Demon Lord even when sealed by Veldanava, and his existence is said to be similar to that of the true dragons. If the seal on this giant is lifted, and his power as the Mad King of the Ground is unleashed, it would be quite troublesome. Xion, who faced Dagruel, knew that there were even those among her comrades who had an abnormally high amount of magicules. However, she trembled when she realized that the presence of the strengthened Dagruel rivaled that of Velgrin and Velser. Furthermore, Dagruel, who had an overwhelming movement speed even as a giant, dismissed Xion's attempt to catch him, saying, "You don't even have the right to stand before me." Luminous, who tried to defeat Dagruel with Xion, unleashed a full power blow in a moment of the opening, but Dagruel emerged unscathed. Moreover, Dagruel's vice-captain, the superlative dual-wielder Grassord, and Fen, who was comparable to the true dragons, combined with Dagruel to become a 6-armed giant, which seemed to be the true form of the unsealed Dagruel. Since his battle with Veldanava, Dagruel had not shed blood and had not even kneeled for over 1,000 years, even in his state as a sealed giant. However, a certain entity appeared there. Both Xion and Luminous are overwhelmed by the battle between the giant monsters, but by standing together against this giant, their relationship is strengthened. In addition, Luminous forms a connection with a new beautiful woman. Characteristics of Leon. Octagram Leon is characterized by his long platinum blonde hair and blue eyes. He holds the nickname Platinum Saber and was once a hero. Leon is also known as the Platinum Devil due to a mistaken identity with the Kara, the original demon who shared the same blonde hair. Some might mistake him for a dangerous person who can suddenly unleash nuclear magic, similar to Kara. Leon was mentioned early on in the story when he summoned Shizu and possessed Ifrit, but his true identity remains a mystery. He was attempting to summon a certain person from another world, but his attempts failed, leading to his disappointment when Shizu appeared instead of the expected a ravishing young woman. Due to his unique origins, Leon has mastered the ultimate skill and has gained the favor of the Demon Lord Gi, who likes him enough to personally meet with him. When Rimuru met Leon at the Walpurgis, he mistook him for a beautiful woman. Leon's defeat of the former Demon Lord Kazelim and his subsequent rise to the position of Demon Lord demonstrate his considerable strength. He also met Ramiris while searching for Chloe and awakened as the true hero, Leon Cromwell. Later on, he fought against the Demon Lord Kazelim and destroyed him, earning her wrath. Leon has experienced the brink of life and death and has acquired the ultimate skill, Lord of Purity Metatron, which allows him to freely manipulate the ultimate power of sacred magic, disintegration, by selecting and purifying pure energy from a mixture of power, waves, and magic. Leon can deploy Spiritron around himself and his sword, causing everything he touches to collapse into dust, as well as enabling him to perform super-fast sword techniques and absolute destruction. In his past as a hero, Leon spent time in the Sorcerer's Dynasty Saurian and was trained by Sylvia, the Thunder Empress, who is considered the strongest warrior in Saurian. However, Leon also has a sense of immaturity that prevents him from showing his full potential in battle when his allies are nearby, making him the most human-like demon lord. Characteristics of Rimuru. Despite insisting that they are a harmless slime, Rimuru has become an awakened demon lord and a mysterious presence that leads the original demons. After absorbing Veldora in the war against the Eastern Empire, an analysis was completed, and it became possible to transform Rimuru's body composition into that of the true dragons. He had reached the level of the ultimate slime and could even handle dragon spirit haki. However, it was unclear whether Rimuru can be considered a true dragon, and Velgrin was also confused by the possibility that the opponent she was currently fighting could be considered her new younger brother. It is abnormal for a mere monster to have a soul that is compatible with the true dragon factor, and it is not a coincidence that such an existence was reincarnated near the place where Veldora was sealed. They named each other, bore the same name, and evolved into a true dragon right in front of her. Rimuru's basic abilities started with Great Sage and Predator. However, the slightly out-of-control Great Sage had information analysis and ability acquisition as hobbies and provided Rimuru with the best possible actions. As a result, Rimuru acquired many powerful abilities and subordinates, and became one of the true demon lords. Furthermore, Rimuru has acquired multiple ultimate skills, but his greatest strength seems to come from these three powers. The ultimate skill, God of Void Asthoth, Lord of Abundance Shub-Niggurath, and Seal, Theosophical Core. In particular, if Seal is involved, it is a chi-like existence that can promote the acquisition and optimization of new skills and even fulfill all of Rimuru's personal desires and solve all problems. Recently, Seal seems to be doing whatever she wants, such as evolving subordinate skills without Rimuru's permission and modifying her masterpiece, Zijin. Although Rimuru is usually gentle, when he gets angry, even true dragons tremble with fear, making them the most dangerous existence among the demon lords. How was it? This time, I introduced the characteristics of the Octagram. Each character has a strong personality, and it seems difficult to cooperate without someone who possesses the otherworldly strength of the oldest demon lord, but they work hard for the sake of this world. On this channel, I will continue to research for enjoying Tensura, so please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Well then, let's meet in the next video.